Trans people will never leave kids alone. So this whole trans conversation keeps coming back over and over again, and it feels to me like every single time when this conversation does reappear, the pro-trans people every single time now come up with some new and never before heard argument, but it's just absolutely retarded. This time, for whatever reason, the algorithm recommended me a clip from this guy where he was unironically trying to make the argument that, well, if kids are unable to consent to being injected with exogenous hormones, then kids should also not be able to consent to going through their natural puberty.
But oh, I'm so evil for saying that, hey, you know, if a child cannot consent to HRT, then they can't consent to puberty.
Okay, so I'm not even gonna talk about the voice. I'm not even gonna say anything about that. But isn't it kind of crazy how this is the level of stupidity that we have to deal with? All because, what, like half of the population in our Western countries doesn't want to just admit that, you know what, yeah, these trans people, yeah, there really is something wrong with these guys. And the sooner we can all just admit that, you know what, yeah, these trans people, they do have a mental disorder, which is not normal. Normal people do not have mental disorders. Well, except for the women. The sooner we can admit that, most of us can admit that, the sooner we can just move on from this stupid f***ing conversation.
This person thinks that minors should be able to consent
to medical treatment. If minors can't consent to HRT, then they can't consent to puberty. How do you not understand the take? Like, what the f*** is wrong with you? Like, seriously. If they can't consent to HRT, if they can't decide which puberty they want to go through, how do you, like, justify forcing them through puberty?
I honestly feel so f***ing stupid for even having to say this. You are actually not able to choose which puberty you wanna go through. That's not possible. That's not a thing. That's not a choice that any of us ever had. No kid can decide which puberty, which sex they wanna develop into. That's not possible. You can't just give a little boy puberty blockers and estrogen and expect him to grow into a woman, a normal, healthy female. That's not how it works.